welcome to the island of Shuffle.
How are you doing?
We hope you're doing well out there. And if you aren't, well, maybe this podcast, maybe it'll help.
It'll cheer you up. Don't worry, just wait.
Hope it doesn't make you feel worse.
It might.
That's where we can't.
It probably will.
It probably will. We can't guarantee either way. We can guarantee hopefully we can guarantee a strong reaction.
Yeah, exactly. I just want it to change the way you feel.
Exactly.
If you feel the same coming in to this as you do getting out of it, then we didn't do our job.
That's true. We just kind of want to like provoke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what I think is cool.
I am pro-voke.
Oh, you support voking?
I support voking. No, actually, I'm just a professional at it.
Oh, okay. You're a professional voker.
I'm a professional voker. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
a provoker.
Oh boy, I like it. We're already off to the races.
I'm sure people are feeling things already.
Yes, people are feeling all kinds of ways. What is the premise of this podcast, in case this happens to be the first time you're listening to it?
So this is the show called The Island Shuffle.
Yes.
And what we do is we take numbers.
Yep. We take numbers and we jumble them up.
Oh my God.
And whatever number comes out is
Then that's what we do.
that's what we do.
We watch episodes of Lost, but we don't watch them in order.
Yeah, we watch them.
use a random number generator.
Yes, and we'll talk about this random number generator at the end of this episode.
Yeah,
when we use it.
absolutely. You'll hear all about it.
Yeah.
It's good. Random.org.
Oh boy, don't get me started. And yeah, we watched episodes of Lost in a completely random order. And what episode did we watch this week?
This week we watched season 4, episode 12. There's No Place Like Home.
Part 1.
Part 1 of 3. It's a 3-part finale, everybody.
And we only watched the first part of it.
About too many parts on this one.
Yeah, we could. The season could have ended here, I think.
I think so.
But it doesn't. It keeps going for 2 more hours.
Which is bizarre.
So
Welcome to Bizarro Land, am I right?
Wow.
Population ABC's hit show Lost.
ABC's hit show Lost is just feels like it's living in Bizarro Land sometimes.
It is.
It's
What do you
like the
think
only
name of
inhabitant.
the island is?
It's the only inhabitant of Bizarro Land.
Yeah, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Everything else lives in Normal Town.
Normal Town. It's so cramped here in Normal
It's
Town.
so cramped in here in Normal Town.
They have so much beach in Bizarro Land.
They have so much beach and so much island. And what do you say we get started and talk about?
So much beach and so much Cheech.
Yes, there is a fellow by the name of Cheech Marin who makes his Island Shuffle debut in this episode.
We'll get to him later.
We'll get to him. So season 4, as you may or may not know, introduces the concept of not just flashing back. No. We're flashing forward, baby.
Roll it along. Let's keep going forward.
Let's keep going forward. Let's find out what happens to these guys after they get off the island.
You know what? I saw the past.
Yeah?
I'd like to see the future now.
Exactly. We're bored of the past.
We're bored of the past. Give us the future.
Give us the future already.
And that's just what Lost does.
That's exactly what they do. And the whole premise of the entire There's No Place Like Home trilogy. The whole premise is basically the flashbacks or the flash forwards rather, are right when the gang lands off of the island.
Yes.
And it's them immediately kind of like easing into their like newfangled lives.
Their life back in society.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, on the island, finally the events start to come together that leads to them getting off the island in the first place.
The select few getting off the island.
Yes.
So we have a very small crew of Jack, Hurley, Kate, the baby,
Kate the baby,
Kate the baby, Son, and Saeed. They get off the island.
They all get off the island. Nobody else does.
And the story is that the rest all died.
Yes.
But that's a lie.
That 'tis a lie.
'Tis but a lie. Don't worry.
'Tis a fabrication.
'Tis a fabrication made by Fabric and Fabric Company.
known for lying.
Known for their lies.
Known for their elaborate conspiracy theory cover-ups.
Yeah, exactly.
So the first scene is the whole gang kind of sitting in this like cargo shuttle, and an Oceanic representative is talking to them and being like, "All right, we're gonna touch down in Honolulu in like a second, press is gonna want to talk to you, but you don't really have to. And Jack is like, oh, we're gonna talk to them. We got things to say.
And no one else says anything.
Mm-hmm.
Jack is the only person saying words. Jack is calling all the shots.
Yes, Jack is calling the shots, as Jack is wont to do.
And I feel like we should mention they're in this like cargo plane,
Mm-hmm.
and it is so shaky the whole time. The plane will not stop shaking. And I've been in planes before, and that's not what they're like.
Yeah.
And also, this does not bode well for like people that you're rescuing from a plane crash.
Yes, in fact, the pilots have a conversation about that. They are like, well, shit, we are flying plane crash victims. That seems like bad luck. Uh-oh. And that's that.
It's unfortunate, really. They say plane crashes never strike twice.
That is what they say, isn't it? Well,
yeah, I think that might be a fabrication of fabric and fabric, actually.
I think it's a classic fabric and fabric lie. The other thing about this that I want to mention is that plane crashes do in fact happen twice, because remember how they were they go back on a plane to crash back on the island?
Oh, I didn't know they crashed back in that plane.
Oh, they do.
Oh, wow.
Well,
fabric and fabric once again.
Fucking
creating an infamous lie.
So infamous.
It's people will be talking about that one for years to come.
And not in a positive light.
No, absolutely not. Fabric and fabric, surprisingly low reviews on Amazon.
What is this? I have so many questions about the nature of this fabric and fabric company. They're why are their services available on Amazon? I just hire a conspiracy cover up.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're not very good at it.
That's true, as we find out when the gang is holding a press conference. Actually, first before that, when the plane touches down, there's a really lovely montage, slow montage, soft music. The gang is getting off, and their families greeting them.
Some of their families
are greeting them. Jack hugs his mom. Hurley hugs his dad, who's Cheech Marin, the aforementioned Cheech, the eponymous Cheech, and Saeed's family is not there.
There's no family for Saeed here.
But you know who comes through? Hurley grabs Saeed and says, hey, man, here's my mom and dad. Meet Saeed. Meet my friend.
Also, Kate's family is not there, and no one does anything for her.
That's true, because she is wanted for murder still.
She's wanted for murder still.
Yes.
Well, they got her.
They pretty much got her. So, the gang is holding a press conference explaining, and the Oceanic official kind of gives the quote-unquote official story, which is they crashed near an uninhabited island in the Indonesian archipelago, in that archipelago somewhere, and they floated there, and they basically the six of them all survived. Kate gave birth to Aaron, and they eventually managed to get a raft going to a nearby island that actually had inhabitants.
It was inhabited, yeah.
And then from there, they took a plane to Honolulu, which is where we start the episode.
That's it. And everyone who isn't in this press conference died in the crash.
Yes, exactly.
So Sawyer's dead. Jin's dead.
Yes.
Claire's dead. Should we name more? Locke is dead.
Locke is dead. Ben is dead. Ben wasn't a person on the plane, I guess.
Ben wasn't on the plane.
So Ben was...
Anna Lucia is dead.
Anna Lucia is dead. Libby is dead.
Libby is dead.
They explicitly, when Jack kind of recounts some of the events of the crash, she explicitly mentions by that time there were 8 of us, but the remaining people he mentions... Boone died. Libby died, and Charlie also died.
Charlie died.
Yes.
So a lot of people died. And Jin, Son explicitly mentions Jin died in the crash. Jin died in the crash. She was asked specifically about it in Korean.
Exactly. And another...
Just to solidify the fact that she's a Korean character.
Just to remind you.
Yeah.
The other interaction of note that happened in that press conference. Generally a pretty good scene that I liked a lot. But the other interaction that I want to highlight is a reporter says, so Kate, that must have meant that you would have been, I'm adding up the timelines here, and that means you would have been 6 months pregnant when the marshal took you on the plane. Is that correct? And Kate is like, Kate, the notorious worst liar in the world, despite being a mastermind murderer.
Of course. Despite outwitting the FBI.
Repeatedly and relentlessly. Kent is just like, well, good. But luckily the Oceanic official is like, well, her legal matters are, we're not going to deal with that right now. And
what are they? They're out of bounds or something.
Yeah, exactly. They're off limits.
Off limits.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, I don't know. I always thought that killing someone was off limits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arrest her
right now. Send her in jail.
She just got back from a harrowing experience off an island and gave birth supposedly, but send her to jail.
Send her
directly to jail.
Do not pass go.
Do not collect whatever amount of dollars. $200.
Which is a lot for passing go.
It's a lot for passing go. Let's be honest.
My payday? 50 cents, $1 if I'm lucky.
That's your payday?
That's my payday.
That's every 2 weeks what you're making?
Every 2 weeks.
That's, wow.
Yeah.
Where are you working?
Underground. It's 1920 down there.
I don't know that it is. I think you're just getting duped. I think you're getting grifted.
They pay me in nickels.
They shouldn't. You should not go there. You should go get an actual job.
Work 80 hours a week.
You really gotta not. How do you even have time to record this podcast?
Someone's gotta sweep up the sewers.
No, that's not a job.
Oh my goodness! Nobody pays Batman to be Batman. You know.
That's true.
Nobody pays a polar bear to be a polar bear.
That's true. You're
I'm just a sewer sweeper being a sewer sweeper.
Yeah, and if you happen to find a nickel along the way,
I get to keep it.
Yeah, exactly. But the work is its own reward.
I found half a taco down there once.
Oh boy, what'd you do with that taco? Half?
You know I ate it.
Oh, how'd that go?
It was covered in fecal matter.
Somehow this is worse than our bit about JFK shooting himself last time.
Yeah, it probably is.
Oh, God.
Oh, well.
The end of that conference ends with Saeed meeting his girlfriend outside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Saeed does have a family now.
Yeah, yeah, his girlfriend.
It's
sweet.
It's sweet. They have a sweet reunion like all the reunions
This is the same girlfriend that 2 months ago or so we saw got hit by a bus and died.
Yep, so we know how that's going to go. Sorry.
He's happy now, but don't worry.
Yeah, give it a...
Everyone Saeed loves will die a gruesome death.
That is the Saeed guarantee.
The Saeed guarantee. You remember 2 weeks ago when we watched Shannon get brutally murdered for no reason?
Like 5 times.
Yeah.
I feel like we had like 5 episodes out of the past 10 where we just watched Shannon get murdered.
Well, you had to see it from the other people's perspective.
That's true. Yeah, you got to hear both sides. So the next the next flash forward scene we see is Sun walking into his dad's office. Her dad's office, my bad. Sun walking into her dad's office, and to catch you up, her dad is a mob boss, basically.
He is a mob boss. He is like a super powerful man that is very mean.
Yep.
And that will kill people to get what he wants.
Yes, he's been shown to be relentlessly ruthless, kind of work Jin down to the bone. And
down to the bone. Work him down to the bone.
Just like that, yeah. Just like that famous song that we all know and love, Down to the Bone.
Down to the bone. I always thought we should make a modern version called Hey Kids, Put Down That Phone.
Wow. That's interesting. That's an interesting
take. That phone.
Kids should put down the phone and start having more face-to-face conversations.
The internet's a fad.
I hate this.
Would you rather the sewer thing again?
Yeah.
One or the other.
That's true. Those are the only 2 jokes that are allowed this time. So
he's a mob boss.
He's a mob boss, and Sun walks in, and Sun is visibly pregnant.
Yeah.
And his dad is like, "Oh, it's just don't worry about what was just happening. It was just some business matter, something you would never understand.
You wouldn't get it."
And then Sun's like, don't play nice with me. I know you hated Jin. And you know what? You were the reason we were on that plane. So guess what? With the settlement Oceanic gave me for the crash, I bought a controlling share in your company.
Several problems with this plot point. Firstly, how much money was she awarded that she can buy a very large company?
She can just buy a company, a whole company, with no consequence.
How is it the man that owns the company was not aware that he had lost controlling interest?
Exactly.
What is going on
Why would he have that company like open for buying?
Exactly.
Like, I'm not a stock person. I don't know beans about how stocks and company and corporations work. But I feel like an easy way to keep that from happening has to be available. For
absolutely.
Especially if you're an all-powerful
don't
mob
sell
boss.
your controlling interest.
Mm-hmm.
But he sold like...
Just like take any and all offers.
Exactly. We have been totally led to believe that he owns this company.
Yeah.
Therefore... he would have to be instrumental in the selling of this company to his own daughter.
Apparently,
yet he is blindsided by this
not.
fact.
Huge coup d'etat.
Yeah. Huge coup d'etat.
Other than the complete logical nonsense of it, I love the idea that, now Sun is a big boss and she's gonna
gangsterism.
I'm gonna be the mob boss now.
It's incredible.
It rules.
She's the little fish that eats the big fish in the tank.
Yes, it's gonna. I just wish that they did more with it, but I don't know.
They did put her on Shark Tank for a season.
They do, don't they?
Yeah, she buys everyone's company.
The best move.
She buys a controlling interest in every single company.
Well, I mean, that Oceanic settlement of infinity dollars.
Exactly. That's what really gets me is like, how much money did they give you?
Everybody gets 50 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody gets our company, too.
Exactly.
They give him controlling shares in Oceanic as well.
Oh, my God.
The next scene, Hurley enters a big old mansion. And nobody's there.
Nobody's there except a coconut.
There's a coconut. And
there's a coconut there.
There's a coconut there, and there's whispers. And he's like, Mom, Dad, what's going on?
The last time that we heard whispers in this show, Shannon was shot.
Yes. So we're expecting Shannon to get shot again.
Yeah, exactly. Because Saeed loves her.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we just saw Saeed be happy.
We're expecting Saeed's new girlfriend to get shot.
Yes.
But we know better because we know she gets hit by a bus.
Yes, exactly. That's one of those things that got spoiled for us.
Yeah, exactly.
So, turns out nothing spooky's happening. It's just they're planning a surprise party. Surprise. And everybody's there and having a good time. Kate and the baby are there.
Kate and the baby are there.
Saeed and Saeed's girlfriend.
Saeed's
I think her name is Nadia. Saeed
Nadia
and Nadia are there. And Hurley's just like, hey, you're here too. Which is like great. And they kind of laugh at why they really shouldn't have made this tropical theme. That was dumb of them. And then Cheech Marin comes up and is like, hey, you guys talking about hunting boars or making a fire or whatever?
That is exactly what he says. I wrote it down word for word. What are you guys talking about? Building a fire or hunting boars? Ha ha.
Very funny joke about the trauma that they just all got back from.
You know how y'all survived on an island together after being in a plane crash?
Funny. Funny, right?
I was here drinking Mai Tais.
Just funny stuff.
Yeah.
For hundreds of days, I assumed you were all dead.
Exactly.
My own son. Now you're back. It's
Happy
funny.
birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, buddy. So Cheech Marin takes Hurley out to the garage and says, birthday present time, and gives him a car that he'd been working on this whole time. It's a nice car. And Hurley's like, oh, my God, this is our car. This is so meaningful. Let's go for a ride. And Hurley hops in the driver's seat, and he looks at the odometer and another meter. He looks at two of the meters.
There are 2 meters going on.
And guess what? They've got the numbers on them.
They've got the numbers. One of the meters.
I
guess the total miles meter.
Yes.
Reads 4, 8, 15.
And 16. And then the bottom.
4, 8, 15, 16. How many miles? So
it
has
400 million miles. 400,000 miles.
400,000 miles. Almost 500,000 miles.
Yeah.
So The car is a junker to begin with.
Exactly.
Too many miles.
Too many miles for sure. And Hurley freaks out about it.
Yeah, he's not happy.
He's not happy about it, and he goes, "These are because those are the same numbers he won the lottery with."
They've cursed him.
He thinks he's cursed by those numbers.
He is,
and he is, and so he freaks out and like runs away from the party. He just like runs down the street.
Yeah, he doesn't like it.
No, he doesn't.
Which fair.
Fair. I wouldn't like it either.
I wouldn't like it either.
Final flash forward scene. Jack has a funeral.
Oh, yeah, it's a funny funeral.
Jack has a funny funeral for his dad. Funny Jack have a funny funeral.
Jack is at the podium. It's 10 months after his dad has died, and they're just now getting around to the funeral.
Yep.
And Jack says the words, "My father couldn't stand eulogies.
Mm-hmm.
The only good part of a wake is the free booze," he would say.
And nobody laughs.
Nobody laughs.
Because he's dead.
He's dead. He's very dead. Dead as fuck. He's not even like sorta there, you know, his slightly alive, keeled over in the pew.
No, he's
like in most funerals.
Yeah. You know how in most funerals they're almost dead but not quite.
They're always almost dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But this one, no, they're really dead for real.
A friend of mine tells me a story about a like family friend or their dad's friend or something who they had a terminal illness.
Yep.
And the doctor was like, "You're gonna be dead in a month. Like, it's safe to book the stuff."
Whoa.
And then so they attended to their own memorial service.
That's
not like the funeral part, but like remembering the life thing where the person was supposed to be dead, but they were not.
That's kind of like, that's a unique opportunity.
I know. They booked the venue.
I feel like I feel like that hampers the experience because I feel like they like knowing that they're there. Knowing that they're there and really hearing it for real.
Yeah.
I would be more reserved about all the awful things I would want to say.
I know, exactly.
Anyways.
So, thank goodness that Jack's dad is actually
thank
dead.
Thank goodness Jack's dad is really dead for real.
So they can say all the awful things they really mean.
Exactly. And Jack kind of says like, "Oh, miss you, Dad." And then that's that. Later, alligator. And the only real notable thing that happens is that so Jack is chatting with Kate, and Kate's like, "Hey, good eulogy there, buddy." And Jack's like, "Great." And then up comes an Australian lady, and he's like, "Hey, could you give us a moment?" And Kate's like, "Of course, of course." And so so Jack and this Australian lady have a conversation, and she reveals that, "Hey, guess what? I'm the reason your dad was in Australia. He was here to visit his daughter, my daughter." And Jack's like, "What?
What?
We were his only...
He didn't have a daughter.
He didn't have a secret family in Australia." And she's like, "Yeah, she did." Yeah, he did.
That's a really funny line. I wish he said those words exactly. "He didn't have a secret family in Australia."
And she's just like, "Well, you're looking at her." And
oh my God!
And he says,
and not again with the secret families.
Secret families in Australia.
God
secret families in South Africa.
God damn it!
Secret families in France.
God
secret families in Dominican Republic.
Another secret family.
Name a nation, and he's got a
United
secret family
Kingdom.
in there. So he's got his family in the United Kingdom. Let me tell you, and it's a secret one.
It is not public.
It is not public knowledge.
They are friends on Facebook, but they don't have like the confirmed familial link.
No, exactly. You got to stay in touch somehow, right?
Absolutely. And email just isn't cutting it these days.
No,
you got to see when they're online.
You gotta let Zuck know.
You gotta let Zuck know.
You gotta let Zuck know about all your secret families.
Ah, Zuck.
So this Australian lady also says, "You know what's so funny? You know what's a funny coinky-ding? Yeah. Here's a funny coinky-ding for you. You know who was on that plane that crashed and that died in the crash?
Who's that?
Why, his daughter. Our daughter.
What?
And her name was Claire. And you guys were probably on the plane together. Probably didn't even realize it. But, of course, Jack knows that Claire is still back on the island."
Oh. You know what? Whenever that... news is revealed, which is pretty groundbreaking news.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think there's no reaction more appropriate than the reactions from those probably about a decade ago. They would have these banner ads with emojis, and you would scroll over them, and they would go, "What? Say something." What?
Say something.
Oh, I feel like there was one more, but I forget it.
I forget it too. I'm glad I forget it I'm upset that I remember it now.
Say something.
God.
I like it.
Are we bringing that back?
What's that?
We should bring those back.
We should bring those back. I want intrusive banner ads with smiley faces on every website I go to.
And I want the smiley faces to be grotesque.
Grotesque.
Emojis are too clean.
Clean cut.
They're too clean and pure. I want a puke yellow smiley face with too many dimples.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's what I want. That's the promise I want from the Web 2.0.
Where is Obama when we need him?
Where is Zuck when we need him?
Where is Zuck when we need him? The Obama of the internet.
That is what they call Zuck.
Zuck is the Trudeau of the internet.
Zuck is the Trudeau of the internet, if you think about it.
Trudeau is the Obama of the junior high school book club.
Well, who's the Zuck of the junior high school book club?
Who is? Bill Gates.
Yeah, that's right. That makes sense. That tracks. I'm glad we sorted that out. So, on the island, the episode. So as you can tell by the nature of those flashbacks, the episode is kind of just like all over the place.
Uh-huh.
As is a traditional Lost finale, it's a million different moving parts, moving pieces, and this being part 1, it's literally just all set up. It's purely set up so that the action
we don't get any
go.
satisfaction.
We don't get any satisfaction, but we do have a lot of complicated bullshit going on.
It's fun. I did like this episode.
It is a fun episode for sure. So
what was on the island?
What was on the island? A lot of stuff was on the island. So the first thing that happens is the gang is arguing about what to do about a phone.
Sounds like the gang to me.
That's the gang. And what I'm saying is they should put down the phone.
Seriously.
And have a conversation.
Face to face?
These kids, these millennials.
Arguing over the phone.
And they're looking at their cookies clickers and they're looking at their Candy's Crush.
How is it that they're on the phone all goddamn day?
They're texting.
Yet they don't have the time to give me a goddamn phone call.
Millennials out, if you're listening, give James Brown a call.
Give me a goddamn phone call.
Give James Brown a phone call. On a telephone, on a landline. With a curly little cord. Thank you very much.
A pay phone I will accept.
It was a rotary phone, rotary dial.
I won't accept your collect call, though.
Wow. Making it known. So Jack and Kate go out to find, like, the phone is emitting some kind of signal. They're following it. Yeah. They run into Motley Crue. This is an episode full of Motley Crues. And the first crew we see is Sawyer, Baby, and Miles.
Miles, Sawyer, and the Baby. You know that timeless combo.
That's just one thing I do love about the obscenely large cast of this show is that you get shit like Sawyer, Miles, and the Baby.
It's absurd.
It's good to me.
I love that the Baby is such a character in this episode.
Yeah, the Baby gets tossed from place to place. I also want to mention that everybody's like, so why does Sawyer have the Baby? Where's Claire? And Sawyer's just like, Claire just wandered off. We lost her. She got sick of
the Baby.
We took the Baby and she just left.
And that's that.
That's where Claire is. So Sawyer gives the Baby to Kate, and Jack is like, hey, we're going to find that helicopter that dropped this. We're going to find a helicopter that this phone is telling us to go.
Uh-huh.
And Sawyer's like, well, guess what? The guys on that helicopter are probably bad news, so I'm going with you. And Kate and Miles and the Baby go back to the beach.
Here, Kate, take this baby.
Here, Kate, take this baby.
And Kate never lets it go.
Kate does let it go.
She gives it to Son.
Yes. Saeed is on a little motorboat, a little dinghy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And he comes up to the beach, and he says, guess what? I'm coming from the freighter, and we're going to start ferrying people from the beach to the freighter. Because guess what? Those guys on the chopper, they're going to kill anyone they see.
They're bad to the news.
They're bad to the They're bad to the news. And so Saeed basically confirms everyone's suspicions of like, oh no, the chopper is confirmed. Bad people, bad boys.
To the news.
They're bad to the news. Then they start Saeed and them start
loading up the old boat.
Loading up the motorboat, and I think the first crew includes Sun and Jin.
Yep.
And
Saeed doesn't go with them. He goes. Where does he go?
I think Saeed and Kate decide they're bad. We got to go catch up with the Jack and Sawyer to keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
And
weird call, but
and so in that moment, Kate says, "I can't take a baby onto this expedition. I'm gonna give the baby to Sun."
Hot potato, pass it on. Pass it on.
The baby gets passed to Sun, and
like a hot potato,
exactly as you would pass a hot potato. Just hucks the baby at Sun.
She tosses it. Just like more of a rugby throw than a football or baseball throw, but a gorgeous spiral.
Yeah, and Sun just catches it like a pro.
Yeah, one-handed behind the back, touchdown, slams on the ground.
I thought the touchdown celebration was a little bad for the baby.
Not less believable than her buying the business, though.
That's true.
It was not the craziest thing to happen all episode.
That's true. I don't even know if it cracks the top 5. So the ferrying has begun. We have another motley crew out and about.
Yes.
Moving. I believe the final piece of this puzzle.
Final motley crew.
The final piece of this elaborate puzzle is a crew made up of Hurley, Locke, and Ben, which is a good crew.
That's
a
great crew. I love it. I love how all of the crews in this episode are never crews that you would expect.
Never, ever again. Because it's a lot of Ben rambling about, like, here's what the plan is. We have to go to this place called the Orchid, and and we have to hopefully get there before those bad guys do on the chopper.
They're really bad.
And Hurley's just like, well, what's the heck is an orchid anyway?
Yeah. What are you talking about, Uncle Ben?
And they have a scene where
any crackers?
Yeah, Ben is like, when they get to some rock, Ben is just like, I found find some like
got
supply.
The box.
He finds like the exact location of a known box, I guess.
Yeah.
Opens it up, takes out a mirror, starts like reflecting the sun to do some Morse code with someone. And there's binoculars in there too. And there's also like 15-year-old saltine crackers that Hurley just starts eating.
He goes to town on the crackers, then Ben goes, those are 15 years old, you know. And Hurley goes, yeah.
Fuck it.
You would think he would have noticed.
Yeah, I mean,
wouldn't they be moldy?
I feel like crackers are like, I feel like that's the whole point of crackers as a supply thing, is that maybe they just don't go bad.
Mold-proof. But it was an open package.
It was an open package in a rusty ass tin.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's definitely probably not good.
Oh well. Hurley enjoyed himself. He likes a good cracker every now and again.
Can't blame him. And they make it to the Orchid.
Yeah.
One thing I want to mention about this scene where Ben is signaling like flashes and then we see like flashes coming back from the mountainside. And then we see the shot of like flashes coming back from the mountainside, and then we see Locke look in some binoculars, and then we see a shot from the point of view of the binoculars. But it's farther away somehow.
It's farther away than the original shot was. The binoculars, he has the binoculars on backwards.
He has the binoculars on backwards.
Because he made everything smaller.
That's exactly what happened.
It's so stupid.
Oh, it's dumb.
It's awful. That was another
weird moment in the show.
I loved this show, but they got some problems with point of view and perspective.
They got some problems, for sure. So here's how it shakes down. Ben, Hurley, and Locke get to the Orchid.
Yeah.
And they go, oh my gosh, we're too late. The soldiers are already here.
They got guns.
But Ben says, like, hey, all right, listen carefully, Locke. Here's my instructions to you. You're going to go into the Orchid through this door. You're going to go to this shelf, and you're going to pull this plant. And then you're going to go into this elevator, and then you're going to go walk 3 paces, and you're going to turn right. And then you're going to beep, boop, boop. And Locke is like, whoa, slow down there, Chucky. What the heck are you going to do about the armed guards? And Ben has a cool moment where he goes, how many times do I have to tell you, John? I've always got a plan.
Ben.
He doesn't, though.
No.
He's just flying by the seat of his pants.
He is gone wild.
He's gone bananas.
Bananas. He's gone bonzanas.
He's gone Todd Gonzalez.
He's Bono now. He's wearing the sunglasses. He's wearing Sun's glasses.
He's wearing Sun's glasses, which happen to be sunglasses.
Yes.
Sun's sunglasses.
Sun's sunglasses.
And he looks at Locke and he says, "How many times do I have to tell you? I'll pull this off with or without you."
Oh, that's incredible. And you know what that was a really good example of?
What's that?
Some of the many lies that you can purchase from Fabric and Fabric Company.
Yeah, that was a lie.
That's honestly a 3-star lie.
Yeah, I got a pack of mediocre lies, and I figured I'd spend them from Fabric and Fabric.
Mostly, they're based on Irish rock groups.
Yeah, they're mostly just Bono pranks.
Bono, and I think the Cranberries are Irish too.
Yeah, they might be.
So think about it. Fabric and Fabric. One of the biggest names in affordable lies for you and your family.
Mm-hmm. So Ben's plan is to just walk up to the guards and say, "Hey, it's me, Ben. You're the one. You're looking for me. I'm here."
That's it.
That's it. Other thing that happens, the ferry makes it to the freighter.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this.
And Sun and Jin
this is so silly.
get out, and they meet Desmond, and they say, "Hey, Desmond." And you know who else they meet?
Mikael.
A man named Michael. Remember Michael? He's living on the freighter, and he's being a spy or something. I forget what exactly he's doing.
They're like, "What are you doing?"
And he's like, I don't work for Ben. I'm trying to help you guys.
I'm trying to help you.
And anyways, Desmond is talking with the ship captain, and he's saying, "Guess what? I fixed whatever was wrong in the engine." And he's like, "Yeah, the engines are working." And he's like, "All right, take us to the island so that we can rescue people." And he goes, "Wait a second. Something's wrong. I can't get something, my sonar or whatever is messed up. And the only way that could happen is if something is broadcasting from the boat. So what the heck is going on?" And then later on, we see Desmond go, "Michael, I need your help. Come downstairs right now." And guess what they find downstairs?
Comical amount of explosives rigged to blow.
It is literally thousands of blocks of C4.
They all say C4 on them.
Of course, because that's how you know that they are C4.
It is bizarre. I don't know how someone would hide that much explosives, let alone take the time to install them without anyone noticing.
To rig it all up. What a, everything about just like, you could, even if you're being a cartoon villain, you don't need that much C4.
Exactly.
I don't think.
So absurd. It's like, what are you trying to blow up?
Yeah.
Australia?
No, just a boat.
Just one singular boat.
Oh my God.
Not even several boats.
Everything about it is takes what was already a jumbled episode of oh my God, we got people moving from the freighter to the thing, we got people going to the chopper, we got the orchid, and now on top of everything,
we've got a comical amount of C4 to deal with. Each stick bearing the brand C4.
Oh, that's my favorite brand.
I love C4 brand explosives.
That's what it is. It's a brand, right? It's a company.
It's a lifestyle brand, I believe.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle brand. I live that C4 lifestyle.
Yeah, more of a C3 guy myself.
Yeah, I mean,
more of a T3 guy myself.
Yeah, I'm more of a TI-83 guy myself. I'm a nerd who does calculators math.
Calculators.
I do calculators
Scientific
math.
Calculators. Texas Instruments, eh?
Yeah, man, I need those graphs.
Oh, I just use my phone as a calculator these days. Tell you truly is all way better.
Oh, definitely. But how are you going to see those cosine graphs, dude? How are you going to see that X plane, that Y plane? There's no other way other than a Texas Instruments 83.
Oh, did you have to buy one of those for like...
I definitely did have to buy one of those in university when I was doing math courses.
I never owned one.
It was
one of my chief regrets.
It was a handy thing before it was handy. This is just turning into an earnest plug for TI-83 calculators now.
By random.org.
By random.org. Thank you, random.org, for making...
Thank you.
So, there's a few more threads dangling that we need to tie up in this
tie these up.
In this fucking, nonsense episode. So, Fairy lands. Ben does that. Okay, so Jack and Sawyer managed to find the chopper.
Yes.
And who's there but a handcuffed pilot named Frank Lapidus.
Frank is, it's hard to tell he's a pilot because he's actually in a Hawaiian shirt right now.
He's not wearing a pilot's
Later
uniform
on in the show, they will put a pilot's shirt on him, so we know that he's a pilot.
And they will also give him key lines like, hey, I'm the pilot, or hey, I like to fly planes, or wow, I'm good at this piloting thing that I love to do.
He is the pilot.
He's the pilot. Anyways, he's talking, and Frank's like, yeah, man, I can get you guys out of here, no problem. And believe me, that's what you want to do, because those guys I brought here under duress, they're bad news, and they're gonna kill Ben, and they're gonna kill everyone else too. Those like guys are alluded to a lot, but we only see them at like the very end of the episode.
Yeah.
So
I imagine they play a bit more of a role in
parts 2 and parts 3.
Yes,
probably. So they're like, maybe we should go, but then Sawyer goes, you know what? He's going with Ben. Hugo's with Ben. We gotta go save him.
So they gotta go save Hugo.
They gotta go save Hugo, and
they were gonna just leave the island, but Hurley is save-worthy.
Mm-hmm.
They like Hurley. They'll save his life.
They like Hurley. They'll save his life.
He's sweet.
He's sweet.
A sweet little man.
What a sweet little man. And the other scene that wraps it all up, the final, not the final scene in the episode, but I think the final thing that the final thing. We got Saeed and Kate going through the jungle to catch up with Sawyer and Jack. And they get ambushed by Ricky and the gang.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
They get ambushed by Ricky and the others, and they get captured by him.
That's it.
That's all that happens. What did you think of this lot of an episode?
I want to watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
Like, I am invested, and I think it's interesting, and I think it was a good balance of, like, actually important seeming story progression and also just complete absurdity with like the buying the company thing or like the whole Hurley storyline is ridiculous. The numbers are still trying to get him.
they're still out to get him.
I was watching it. I said to you, like, did they ever really explain the numbers thing? And you were like, no.
Here's what I want to do. I want to look up if they ever did resolve the numbers thing, because I remember because in my head I remember there being an explanation for them. But I really want to quickly just pull this up.
I don't really trust that they would ever.
I can't imagine that they would ever possibly lost the numbers. The first thing that comes up when you type in lost the.
Really? That's funny.
Yes.
Not like lost the show or something.
For this, we're turning to Lostpedia, which back in the heyday was the premier lostpedia.wikia.com.
Wow. The
premier Lost Wiki. Very thorough, I remember.
I love that.
Big paragraph opens this up. Big 3 sentences. The numbers 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, and 42 frequently recurred in Lost. Each corresponded with one of the final candidates to replace Jacob as protector of the island.
Wow.
The numbers also formed the coefficients in an equation that predicted mankind's extinction.
Okay.
I remember the Jacob thing. I don't remember that last part.
The old coefficients that predicted mankind's extinction.
An
Beautiful.
Equation. Okay, so that's the rest of this episode cannot just be me reading off of Wikia. So
that's really bizarre.
That's a hole for another time, I think. Anyways, fine episode despite all the like.
It was fun.
It's hard to describe, but it is very like. Good at setting up the stakes.
Yeah,
I think.
Of course.
And
put the steaks on the barbecue, and I'm ready to cook them and then eat them.
And I remember as like in general, I remember this finale is like, for all its absurdity, is generally pretty all right at like barely managing to tie together all of season 4's fucking confusion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because remember, this is the season that got chopped by the writer's strike.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
So the last like 6 episodes,
they're trying to do a lot very quickly.
They're trying to do a lot very quickly, and it really shows. Like this finale in particular has a really like rushed, gotta go
There's
feeling.
So much happening.
Even though they have 3 parts to go, it still feels like we gotta go.
Yeah.
Unlike with like compare that to season 3's finale, which really like just feels like it's taking its sweet time and just chilling
meandering.
Just like wandering. Anyways, what's your favorite website again?
Random.org. It is a random number generator.
You don't say.
And actually, they don't. It's true random. And they don't use like an algorithm. They use a static noise, I think.
That's innovative and cool, and it keeps me up at night.
It was built by Dr. Mads Haar of the School of Computer Science and Statistics at Trinity College, Dublin.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's got some prestige, is what you're saying.
Today, random.org is operated by Randomness and Integrity Services Limited.
Wow.
Any company with integrity in its name is definitely a scam.
Oh, you know it. So we're just completely feeding into some scam, aren't we? This is another fabric and fabric joint.
I typed into the scam machine 1 to 121, and we got 27.
27, eh?
Early season 2?
Early season 2. Season 2, episode 2. And it is a Michael episode.
Oh, Michael.
Michael. We saw a bit of him today.
I love it.
And
bring him back here.
He's back, baby. And that's going to be this was 36, so that'll be episode 37.
Episode 37.
All right. So tune in next time for episode 37 of The Island Shuffle. Once again, I've been Bean.
I've been James.
And like we say at the end of every one of these episodes, get